So I've always had a soft spot for this Tag Heuer Kirium. This is a Tag Heuer Kirium Formula 1. Now these were first introduced back in 1997, I believe, and the retail price started at around about £1,500, and then throughout the years they eventually peaked at £1,695. Now I did try and find an old catalogue with the price list on it, but I couldn't find one. Now the reason I know the price so well was because I was really considering buying it at that time, because I did like it. I do like it. Now these were brought in to replace the Tag Heuer 4000 series, I believe, and I don't think they were that popular. They did sort of take off for the first year or so. They were selling quite well, and then they sort of tanked and dived off. I did consider buying it at that time, but I bought the Breitling B1 instead. Now, for me, that was a better watch. They were around about the same price. That started off at around about £1,500 as well. I paid around about £1,200 for my B1 brand new with discount. And I still own that watch. That's my absolute favorite watch. I have no review of that. I'll leave a link in the description, or there's a tag there. You can go and watch that video. Adore that watch. It's my absolute favorite watch. Now, with most watches, they kind of have a bottom line. They'll depreciate to a certain point, and then they will kind of level off, and then slowly the price will increase. So my B1 now, they're selling for more than what I paid for it. So I could resell that B1 and get more than what I paid for it. So the watch essentially being free for me. These watches just plummet, and they don't recover whatsoever. They just go down, and they stay at ridiculously low prices. Now I've been sort of looking for one of these for years and years, and then the condition of these watches, that's the downside of these. If you look at the condition of this watch, it is beaten up quite badly, and it's got scratches all over the dial. You can just, if I can just see the dial is actually not, sorry, the dial, the glass, sapphire glass, is not actually scratched. It's the anti-reflecting. You can just see some there. It's the anti-reflective coating which is scratched. So if I took off all the anti-reflective coating, the glass itself would be fine. But the bezel's all scratched up. The side of it's got dings on there. Now I'm not going to bother having it polished up, because I don't want to spend £50 to have it all polished up. I do have these sort of polishing blocks, which are really good. You should definitely buy one of these. Now these will take out the majority of the big scratches, and then I have another one which is a little bit finer. So I paid £270 for this watch. It just arrived this morning, and that's an absolute bargain. Now the guy originally wanted £695. He then dropped it down to £675, and I offered him like a stupid amount of money for it. I didn't think he would take it. I think I offered him £250 for it. I didn't expect him to take it, and then he came back with another offer, and then we eventually, so I said to him, look, nah, I'm not going to pay it. And I think he kind of knew that he was asking too much for it. These watches are kind of hovering around about the £350–400 mark. So I was being a bit cheeky at the £250 mark, but I didn't expect him to accept £270, to be honest. And I said to him, look, it's all beaten up, it's all very damaged. Now, in the photos, it actually looks a lot worse than what it was. I was expecting the watch to be quite bad. Again, the camera is picking up a lot of the scratches more than what it is. But the watch, in fact, works absolutely fine. There's no problems with it. And it did come with absolutely everything. So it came with the original Tag Heuer box. It's got the manual. I got the warranty card and everything. The watch has actually it was sold in Basel, and it comes with the original Tag Heuer, and it's got a little tag there. It's also got this extra buckle. I think this one must have been an old buckle, because it's very loose, so it must have been changed, and they've just thrown that back in there. It's not really much use to me. So the box itself is, I was so shocked when I saw the box. It's very, very good condition. Now these tend to just sort of deteriorate. There are some scratches and marks here and there, but I've seen them all peel off. But yeah, I was like so surprised when I got it. I thought, oh, it's got all the boxes, paperwork and everything. I mean, these, I could probably just sell the box alone for around about £25–50, I think. Stick it on eBay, and that's a lot of the money back. And it also came with this extra box. This is like a service box, so when it went for a service, it would have come back in this. and he threw this in as well. So it's a nice little box, a little carry box. It's got a little bit of damage there, but it's made from cardboard. But you know, £270. Yeah, I can't really complain. Yeah, it's all scratched up, but for a watch which is 1 years old, it's to be expected, to be honest. I might do some pictures of after I've gone over it with this and see what it looks like, but again, doesn't really bother me if it's all scratched up. I don't really have to take care of it too much because I can think of it, oh, it's already scratched up, so what does it matter? So the depreciation of this, it works out at almost 83% of depreciation, which is just, it must be heartbreaking for anyone who's bought one of these and had to sell it for that price. So I'm really glad I didn't buy one at that time, because it would have been just gut-wrenching to think, oh my god, I've lost 83% of value of my watches, because most watches will retain their value after 10 years. Like I said, they'll reach a bottom line, then the prices tend to go up a little bit. Run through some of the functions. So that's on the chronograph. So there, you've got the 27, so that's the date. That stays all the time. So that's the timer. Now the timer has literally 100-day timer, so I can set it for 100 days, which is great. My B1 is very similar. I didn't expect it to have 100 days. I thought it would only have maybe 24 hours of a timer, because most watches only have 24 hours. My Victorinox only does 24 hours. So I was pleased with that. Because it's been such a long time, I've forgotten all about the functions of this watch. So when you do that, that turns off all the screen, just leaves the date. You can turn that off. I think is it the bottom one? No, I think it's the top one. Yeah, so that can turn it off completely, or you can leave it on and then turn it again. So that's the second time zone, and then it's the top one. No, is it the top one? So that's the first time zone. So that syncs with the analog hands, or you can use this. So you've got to press and hold. That's changed to the second time zone. And then that's your date. Now I believe that must be 21, so that must be 21 weeks, I believe, throughout the year. So you got the date, the 27th of you can't see it there, but it's May 2023 and Saturday. And then that's the alarm, and then the chronograph. There is a way of turning the bleeps on and off, but I actually haven't bothered looking at that because I don't really care about the bleeps. I don't know if this is a 24-hour chronograph. I haven't run it to the end, and I haven't had a look through the manual, because the watch was already all preset. The guy who I bought it off was from England, so I didn't really need to change anything. I will probably just leave it on the date function here most of the time, or I could just turn it off. One of the other watches that I was looking at way back when these were out was the Omega X33, I believe it was. I didn't like that at all. It had too many buttons. It had 4 buttons. It had a crown, so it's literally like 5. It was just too messy for me. Although the new X, I think is it the X33 as well, and they've called it something else. I actually do like that one a lot, but it's very expensive, I think, for what it is, because my B1 is just as good. But now I've got this, I don't really expect to be buying another multifunction watch. Now, my other multifunction watches are my Sun 2, so this one now is using for travel. Also this one, great travel watches, very cheap, take them just about anywhere. If you look at the condition of the watches, again, very good condition, considering I've had these for almost 5 years. But great little watches to travel with. Shocked and very pleased with the price and for the watch that I got. Didn't expect it to be this good, although like I said, very, very badly scratched, but not an issue for me. I can easily take them out. But in terms of, I was thinking, what's wrong with it? When I opened it up, I thought, okay, let me have a look at it. What's wrong? Is the crown wobbly? Is it not turning the chronograph, or something is not going to be working properly? It's not synced up, but works absolutely fine. The strap is fine. It doesn't have any loose bits to it. The buckle also, and it's not loose, probably because it's been changed. Really happy with this watch, and for £270, I think that's basically, it's going to be its bottom line now. Even if I was to scrap this watch, because I've seen these watches on eBay as spares and repairs go for $250. So even if I was going to have to get out of this watch after like a few years, I'm not going to lose any money on this watch whatsoever. I can easily sell it for, I think, 250, 270 by the time anyway, and I'll get use out of it as well. But yeah, really happy with this watch. I'm sure a lot of people will think that is a horrible, horrendous watch. And Tag Heuer, you either love them or hate them. I quite like Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer has got a soft spot in my heart for them. So with less than 10 minutes worth of scrubbing it with the thicker block, this is the result. And as you can see, I would say about 90% of the scratches have gone. You can still see quite a few. There's this deep one just there, a few there, but considering it was like this one, so I haven't done that side yet, so that's what it used to look like, and with less than 10 minutes worth of work, that's what it looks like now. So if I go over it with the thinner one, the fine one, especially the bezel, there's quite a few scratches on the bezel. So if I go over that with the fine, what I'll do is I'll just take a chunk, a little piece, cut a piece out, then I can get into it a lot easier. But yeah, I'm happy with that. For less than 10 minutes, if I actually took some time to do a better job, which I probably will do over the next few days. So from this to this in less than 10 minutes, I would say about 6 minutes worth. All right, so that's about all I'm going to do today. That's the best I'm going to do today. I don't think I'll bother doing any more, but yeah, really pleased with that. Less than an hour's worth of work. There's some deep scratches there, you can just see, and there. I'd have to really scrub harder or use a Dremel or something to get them out and then go over it with the block. But with less than an hour's worth of polishing, it's just there under 30. There's a next to the 30, there's a deep kind of scratch there on the bezel. But yeah, the bezel on just there around about 12. There's some deep scratches there as well. But overall, I'm really happy with this watch for £270 and about an hour's worth of scrubbing to take out, definitely I would say 90% of the scratches I've taken out. And if you saw what it looked like at the beginning when I started the video, compare that to what it looks like now.